We have Stacey J's significant other, Joshua Walker. And yes, they do look beautiful in person. So those of you following their IG, it's real. Hi, welcome, Joshua.
Thank you,
Welcome.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So, Stacey wrote this book. Is it real?
Yes.
Is everything that's in this book, can we actually go through this book and have a beautiful relationship like we see here with you guys?
Yeah, I think you can. I really think you can. Everything that she wrote in the book came from personal experience, not only with just our relationship, but her past relationships. So yeah, to answer your question, yes.
So I asked her this prior, but how did you know that with you implementing this weekly or hourly time to check in on the relationship, how did you know that she would be receptive enough to be able to
You
see the
implemented
potato?
Who did? And
I think we both just decided like.
Yeah.
Y'all are just in sync.
we like this,
Yeah, we
honestly.
are.
We spend so much time together, we have to be like that.
Was it immediate? Like the chemistry was like, when I
was
saw
actually
him, when
good.
I saw her, this was it.
Yeah, because it's like I really love her conversation. She's a really good conversationalist. So it's like we clicked. And since we first started talking, we just never started. We never stopped since then.
Really?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
He doesn't believe. He
I
doesn't
don't
believe.
I don't believe in happiness. No, I'm kidding. But that's awesome. I mean, the fact that so the book came after the relationship. How long were you guys together, as a matter of fact, before the book was written?
oh wow. So the book was actually written like sometime in July. I started.
Okay.
So July of 2018. So yeah, it was not too long ago.
So you wrote the book while you guys were doing this hourly, let's check in.
For like about a year at that point.
So you were checking in from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Like
so
maybe 6
probably
months
like
in.
6 months, yeah. At the beginning of January last year, we started.
And
So
you,
probably like a year ago. A year ago from right now.
And do you think it? So I know if I was checking in my relationship every hour, which I should have been doing, perhaps I should have my relationship. But I don't. So had I done that, I mean, I think for me it would have started from a place of maybe some anxiety. So what was it that like spurned the whole thing, or was it just literally the genesis of you two getting together and saying, you know, let's try this, or was it more so I am worried. You leave, and then my heart starts beating, and I check my phone. I don't know what's going on. So tell us where it started.
So I think it honestly came from just a conversation. Like she said earlier, we both read the book, 24 and Divorce, and then we read through the questions, and we're like, let's answer these. And instead of just like answering the questions, it turned into a whole conversation. So one small thing would turn into 20 things. And now those 20 things would turn into 50 new things. And then it's like we just started to have conversation more and more and more. I'm being dead serious.
Right,
Like, I'm being-
Brilliant.
I am mesmerized.
I, however, am devising ways to split you up. No, I'm kidding. So, actually, I'm curious. I'm gonna put you guys on the spot. So you guys have been together now. You said about a year and a half, or
So it's gonna be 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, in like a
February
week.
12th.
how well do you think you know each other?
Very well.
Okay.
Oh, pretty well.
1, 2, 3. What is Stacey's favorite color? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I was supposed to answer?
Both of you.
Yes, at the
Oh.
same time.
We're gonna
black.
try a different one. We're gonna try a different one.
Black, yeah.
On 3.
It's black.
1, 2, 3. How many kids?
3.
3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What are your
Yeah.
zodiac signs? Like,
I'm Capricorn.
Yeah, I'm a
and
Virgo.
she's a Virgo.
that's a good match. Yes, that's a good
Is
match.
it?
Capricorns
Oh,
are really cool people.
Capricorns.
They're like
No,
really.
they're not.
We,
Oh, dope.
She said, no, they're not.
Remember,
hater.
toxic
She a
relationships in the
hater.
past.
She a hater.
So I'm first of all, I'm amazed because not to say that you're young or anything, because there are so many people who've gone through different relationships and they haven't found the key, but it seems like what you did was successful. So how would you tell a new couple that we're getting together? Because with this tool, I think that that's something that they should probably implement from the beginning, because then you're growing and you're also learning how to maneuver against different personalities. So what would be one of the steps that you would tell someone in able to approach this to another person? Because sometimes people aren't receptive.
Oh yeah, I know some people are not receptive, especially if you say, oh, you know, you should try this book. and then they're thinking like, oh, you think we have problems in our
Right,
relationship? Like,
right.
That's the first thing they think. But it's not even about that. It's like we don't even really have problems in our relationship, but I feel like it's necessary because it's like it's self-care. It's you know how you're a vegan and it's because you don't want to like bring on like those health issues later on. It's for that reason. You're doing preventative measures. Yeah. So it's like we talk about everything now before it gets worse later. Like dealing with it later once it's like grown into something huge,
Right.
there's no coming back from that. So I think it's important to start from the beginning and from when you know it's like a serious relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you do talk about the future and stuff, and I feel like it's weird. Like, okay, we just met. Let's talk about marriage.
How many kids you
Say
got?
Right?
on the first date, I'd be like, where we going? Where are we going?
Nowhere. Fast. So talk to me about these trips. I'm very interested in
Yes.
hearing a bit more about how do you guys organize these special surprises for people?
Oh, you can do that.
I could do this?
Yeah.
All right. She's the best one at explaining exactly what we do as the company. But where it started, she took me for my first birthday together with her on a cruise. And we went to Bahamas. Yeah, we went to the Bahamas. It was dope. It was amazing. It was her first cruise. It was the best trip ever. And then I decided to surprise her to a surprise trip to Thailand after that. And then she took me to Egypt, and then I took her to Spain. So it was like we started a tradition of like every birthday, the other person doesn't know anything until you get to the airport. You don't know what you're doing
So you
until
packed
you're
the
doing
bag
it.
and you.
Yeah. I surprised her at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
you
didn't
can
have
tell the story.
luggage. The first time we went, I was like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
you're
I forgot
joking.
about
We don't
that,
have any luggage. Like, how are we gonna go on a trip with no luggage?
Yeah.
So we got there and we went shopping out there.
Oh, wow.
But it's cheap. It's cheap.
It's cheap.
Thailand's
It's
really
cheap.
cheap.
It's cheap.
Thailand's really
awesome.
I tricked her. I told her that we was going to a meeting,
meeting,
in
yeah.
the
So
city.
I was
You know,
dressed
there's no
for a
parking.
meeting.
So.
And then you got on a plane to
Yeah,
Thailand
yeah, and I thought he was
sat that
joking,
long.
yeah.
I would have like the
23
plane would have
hours.
landed. I would
So
have been like,
you
"There's
knew,
no
you knew
way."
where everything of hers was. So you just packed it and was just like, we're
Makeup,
out.
Everything.
Yeah,
Took
my
one
makeup-
bag and that's it.
Oh, so you knew
Yeah.
Thailand then when you got to the departure gate. Then you were like, okay.
No,
Thailand.
when we were on the plane, I found out because it doesn't say anywhere. It was the thing said what was it?
Air Asia?
Beijing or something
Oh,
that it said
yeah.
at first.
Oh.
Yeah,
It
so
was a
Air Asia.
transfer.
So I'm like, why? Like I thought we were going to California if we were gonna go anywhere. And then I see Air Asia. I'm like, do we stop in Asia?
I
Come
would've-
back.
I would have been so sick. I probably would have like died. I would have literally passed out at the airport. That's awesome.
It was amazing.
It takes a lot of trust. That is a wonderful actual exercise, I guess, in building trust in a relationship. And I'm sure that once you have trust, and you have everything.
Yeah.
Your relationship is so inspiring because, and the reason why it's inspiring to me because it takes a lot of maturity in order to be able to understand what the other person would want or need. And I know that means that you guys came together as whole people instead of two broken people. What would be the main, when you were looking for your significant other, what was the main thing that you were looking for when you were just like, okay, this is what we're going to do, and how did she manifest that to you?
Crazy thing is like I wasn't looking for anything specific. I was just like, I always told her like, if something makes you happy, just stick with that. If the person that you're with, they make you happy, stay with them. If they don't make you happy, obviously it's time to move on. So
Right.
I wasn't looking for anything particular. And when she came along, it's like we had good conversation. We was able to joke and laugh. Everything felt comfortable. So it was just like, it literally just manifested itself. It was like, all right, you're cool, I'm cool. You want a date?
So we just
like,
two
yeah.
cool people just being cute on the ground.
on,
He was like,
Mike.
oh,
Come on.
I don't know what world. That is not how it works.
I just feel it.
I'm not part of that world. Over here in Westworld, and wherever I am, I got to jump through hoops.
You have to believe. You have to believe.
You have to believe,
really
and I think
do,
you
yeah.
find what
I've
you're
heard
looking
that.
for when you're not looking
Yeah,
for
when
it.
you're not
'Cause
looking
there's so many
Absolutely.
people's like, oh, I want a person that looks like this, that acts like this, that does this, that has making this amount of money. Then it becomes like you're looking for something. And if
Right.
you're looking for that perfect thing, you're never
No,
going
you're
to
not
find
gonna find it.
But when you let
Absolutely.
it come to you, it's like, oh, this is perfect, and everything just works itself out.
So I'm going to ask you this, and since you guys know each other, what is the one thing that gets on your nerves about Stacy?
Oh, yikes.
About her?
Yes.
You trying to get me in trouble?
Yikes.
You say you guys are
Yikes.
perfect. Y'all
I
say
didn't say we was perfect.
We're not
No
not
perfect.
perfect, but y'all say we don't never argue.
Yikes.
We have our little hourly meeting.
one thing that gets on my nerves, she's annoying. She talks so much. Like, she can have a conversation and go through like 6 different topics by herself without me saying a word. And I'm like, you what? You start with like, we talking about what we want for lunch, and now she's talking about her high school days, and I'm like, what's going on? So that's the one thing that gets
I think
me.
that
I'm like,
happened on the
just
way
be
over here.
quiet, please.
Oh my.
So
oh,
yeah,
Joshua.
I like my
Put him on the
silence.
spot.
I like my
Put him on
silence
the spot.
sometimes.
Joshua
It's
is
not
now
bad.
Put him on the
homeless.
spot. Put him on the spot.
And Stacey, what is annoying about Joshua?
Oh, let's start a list. No, I'm joking. I think the main thing is that like it's nothing wrong with being a perfectionist, but he's a perfectionist.
Oh wow.
And sometimes like he doesn't realize it, but like I'll bring it up to him obviously, like, okay, you want me to be perfect right now. Like, so those are the things, but we talk about it, and like he's gotten so much better with it. So honestly, at this point, it's really nothing. But that was something.
Well, it was amazing having you on the
It
show,
was.
but you have to let everyone know where they can follow your beautiful love story on the gram, social media, everything.
You want to go? Oh, okay. So you can purchase both of these books. So this one is the actual book, and this is the journal where you follow up with your weekly meetings. Both of those are available on Amazon.com. And you can follow me on Instagram at Stacey J. So it's STACEY _ JAYYY. And if you want to shoot me an email or anything to talk about anything, it's hello@staceytheauthor.com.
That's it. And mine is just Joshua Walker. That's it. Just Joshua Walker on Instagram. I don't have a Facebook anymore. If you are interested in these trips, yeah, Facebook is. Never mind. If you're interested in a surprise trip planned for you, your significant loved one, anybody that you're
Cool with traveling.
traveling with, definitely check out Project Getaway, projectgetawaytrip.com, or Project Getaway Co on Instagram.
No, Project Getaway Trip.
Trip on
Yeah.
Instagram. Sorry.
Yeah.
Different
Get
thing.
him right.
Different thing.
Get him right.